Martin Connington has got it teed up and kicks it away. And this one's going to make it to the end zone. And they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. And he starts in the shotgun at the 25-yard line. Kaytron Allen on the carry. And Kaytron goes out for 4 or 5. He had 3 touchdowns. And their most recent game, the loss to Indiana that Gary mentioned. There's Kaytron again for about 2 more. They'll bring up 3rd down and 4. They've got a 3rd down and 4 here. Kaytron Allen was going to flush out of the backfield. Now he'll rejoin Druckenmeier.
Yeah, got a man-to-man to read on that.
And ball is dropped. Druckenmeier is as well. Down he goes. And it's Malcolm Bell with the sack. And he knew the play clock was winding down too. They barely got the snap off, so it's a loss of 10. It's a punting situation. And Wosu's punt hangs up for a fair catch at the 44 by Omari Kelly. And he'll get the first carry off the right side. It's a big opening. Todd Tolliver. It's a foot race on the opening snap, and he's going to win it. Touchdown, Michigan State.
92 yards coming into that game a week ago. Rushed for 127. Starts out strong again. Wasn't quite as shocking as that first play, though.
Exactly. Connington's kick. This one is returnable by Nick Singleton from the 4-yard line. And Nick got to the 25 before he's put down.
None of that affects this team.
Thanks, Jenny. And so tough week for sure. Here's Druckenmeier out to Kaytron Allen. And Kaytron got it to the 30, pick up a 5. They don't want to get to that point, but he's gotten snaps this week just in case. Here's Druckenmeier on the throw, and it's complete. And his first down tossed for the Nittany Lions with a first down at their own 37. Here's the pitch to Kaytron Allen's got a little bit of a crease and almost got out for a first down. And Druckenmeier wants to throw. Plenty of time, and now he'll keep it. And trying to backpedal for the first down. He's not going to get there. Everybody in tight. Kaytron Allen. Whoa, I don't know. Michigan State doesn't think so. Reynolds, the tight end, will join the backfield as a blocker. They come the other way, though, and Singleton goes for about 5. Everybody's set right here, though. And it's Singleton. Nick for about 4. Got his team in Michigan State territory here. Singleton, he only got about a yard. Quick throw to the outside, and they got the first down. And it's Pena, his second catch. They fake it to Kaytron Allen. Druckenmeier zips it down the middle. Wide open is Pena again. And he's got it inside the 15.
Yeah, he could have picked either one on this one, Ness. Throw in the post could have been a touchdown, and the square in was a nice completion. Nice formation, a little motion. Fools the Spartans on the play. Could have gone for the big one.
Trevor got 25, and now 2nd down and 5. Nittany Lions can get a first down at the 3-yard line. And it's the Wild Lion, and it's Kaytron Allen for the touchdown. So that means Ryan Barker for the point after to draw us even here with just under 6 minutes to go in the quarter. And it's up and good. Wosu's kick is out of the back of the end zone, and they'll bring it back to the 25. Spartans from the 25. Todd Tolliver, only a short gain that time as Samari Campbell came over to make the stop. And they throw right over his way and completes it to Omari Kelly. Aren't involved in TV production meetings. And so this being his second start, the first time he had a chance to talk to people like us as he gets away and throws on the run and complete. He's averaging almost 48 yards a kick, which is best in the country. Set to punt it away for Michigan State. Trevor Pena back deep on the other end. And he'll have a chance from the 20-yard line. Pena already a couple of big receptions today, and now a 20-yard punt return.
During the kick, holding receiving team number 33.
And Nick Singleton's going to take another direct snap. Worked for a touchdown last time, worked for about 4 yards in that instance. Both Kaytron Allen and Nick Singleton in the backfield. The pass is thrown incomplete away. Nick Singleton was the closest guy. It's the tight end in the slot, and Pena goes that way, so 3 receivers to Druckenmeyer's left.
Last time with this look they blitz. Will they do it again? They drop.
Druckenmeyer pats the ball, backpedals, and he's just got to get rid of this from his own goal line. And you look behind Omari Kelly waiting on the kick, and he comes up on it at the 47. Kelly made a couple of guys miss and got it to the 45-yard line. So that would fill up a tent.
Yeah. Gabriel 6'6", 297. Don't you have the feeling if he was a small little punter, he might have got that call?
Maybe.
He did get contact. They called it off right away. You know we should call Reggie Roby and find out if he thinks that was.
That's right.
The big
He's
Iowa
okay.
Guy.
Shake it off, Gabe.
Yeah, shake it off.
Milivojevic, the handoff for about 5 to Mekhi Frazier. Milivojevic in the shotgun. Tight end in motion. They'll keep it on the ground. Frazier spinning and stretching out. It's going to be about 2 yards shy as Frazier, a little hesitation, too much hesitation. He lost a yard.
Penn State been very aggressive on these passing situations. Here they come again.
4th down and 3. Milivojevic hit as he throws. Ball is loose and it's scooped up. I don't know if there's been a whistle, but heading all the way to the end zone is Elliott Washington. Now let's see if they're going to rule it a fumble or a pass.
It's an Idetta Sutton coming around the edge that puts his hand. His arm was going forward, though, I think.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete forward pass.
So they take over at the 38-yard line on downs. Kaytron Allen trying to get to the edge, does. Hurdles a would-be tackler. Nick Singleton also in the lineup. He's set up as a receiver to the left. Kaytron Allen straight ahead. 1st down, Penn State.
Not really pleased with that opportunity there offensively. Great field position, 4 downs to go get more. We get stopped, so we got to bow back up defensively here.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
And that's exactly what happened. They wasted good field position, as Coach Smith talked about. Here's Kaytron Allen weaving his way off the left side. They give up 144 a game. Here's Druckenmeyer stepping up, firing down the middle, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. Singleton and Allen both in the backfield. It's the pitch to Nick Singleton. Whoa, and he got hit too, and he's short. And I don't think so for Nick Singleton. 13:27 remaining in the first half. Milivojevic, trouble coming. Got the pass completed though and got it to Toliver. So they got a positive play. This throw to the wide side.
Oh, nice play.
Elijah Toliver.
Seems like we've had about 6 of these already, doesn't it?
We have. Milivojevic. Heat coming again. Going to throw on the run, and he throws a strike. Down the sideline is Toliver. Toliver, big opening up the middle. And he's got 11 more.
It's amazing.
1st and goal. Spartans just inside the Penn State 9-yard line. Frazier down behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of a yard of the half. Milivojevic got hit as he throws. He completed it anyway to the tight end of Milivojevic, and now the motion comes across. And on 3rd and goal, he's set to throw, maybe. Tracked down, dropped. Back at the 6-yard line by Keon Wiley again. A 24-yard field goal attempt to try to give the Spartans the lead. And his 10th successful field goal of the year is up and good.
Well, after the long pass, that was a big win for the Nittany Lion defense.
Sorry, Maddie. Maybe you know how to ride a horse. I'm not sure. And Penn State will bring it out to the 25-yard line. Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't. There's a blitz coming from Michigan State. Drunkemeyer going deep. Man is wide open, and he's got him. And it's Devontae Ross for the touchdown.
Enough time to sprint open, and boy, was he open playing match coverage. When you do that match coverage sometimes, if one guy is out, you saw the matchup coverage, he tried to cover the square in, and he was wrong.
Ryan Barker's extra point is up and good.
Penn State said they want to be more aggressive in the passing game. They sure have been. More aggressive in the blitzing game. They sure have been.
Now it's Michigan State's turn again. And that one didn't gain anything for Tau Tolliver.
Good day all around so far for the fam.
No doubt. That's great news. He was worried about how his little brother was going to do. He did well. And he comes back to his secondary receiver, and Tau Tolliver made one guy miss. Now they've got to get it out to the 35 to move the chains. Milivojevic had to get rid of it in a hurry on a slant, but immediately hit Ryan Eckley, set to punt. First punt was 48 yards, averaging almost 50. That last one, as Gary said, more of a line drive than he wanted. And this one is blocked.
It was Tanai Dennis Sutton got another one where he is. The block was not clean. He gets around it, reaches out, and makes the stop.
Third block punt of the year for number 33. Gives it back to the offense. Great field position. So 41-yard line after a 9-yard punt that was blocked. And nice play defensively on Nick Singleton. And in the Ring of Honor here at Spartan Stadium. Nick Singleton dragging people with him. You would think this is two-down territory as well. And Singleton keeps the legs driving. He's going to be about a yard short. And they get the first down with Kaytron Allen. Drunkemeyer comes back to Kaytron, who got a block on the outside, and he got it to the 25. Drunkemeyer going to flare it out, and he overshot. Pena, the motion man, into the slot. The pitch is going to go that way. Singleton.
Well defended.
It's going to be 4th down and almost 3. Apparently go for it on 4th down and 3.
They were trying to draw him off sides there.
And here comes the snap. They're going for it. Drunkemeyer pressured. Got away from it momentarily. And now they're going to wrap him up back at the 29-yard line. So Michigan State's defense forces a 7-yard loss back at the 28-yard line. So now they've got a chance. They only have one timeout remaining. Milivojevic escaped the rush, and he's going to take off. He's got Green in front of him. And a nice run.
But with 3 timeouts, Penn State could have forced a punt on the play. That first down really makes it easier to call plays down.
They spotted at the 44. Back to throw. Milivojevic across the middle. Still plenty of time to try to get in field goal range. Milivojevic again has to backpedal and throw. And this one's Milivojevic gonna heave it long, near side, nobody home. Incomplete to block the last kick. It ended up being a 9-yard punt.
Well, he's right in the middle again, right where he was last time.
Now he's going to come in from a different angle. Got the punt away, no problem. And they're going to down it around the 11-yard line. Drunkemeyer, quick throw to the outside of Pena, wide out screen, and Michigan State was all over that.
Yeah, so
and we're going to have a delay of game on the Nittany Lions.
the half, I think, ended.
It ended before the whistle. That's it.
First half.
Krishan McCray and Elijah Tolliver await this kickoff. And fair catch taken in the end zone. Milivojevic under center with 3 wide receiver group. And Tolliver is the tailback. It's going to be an end around and a nice cut back by Omari Kelly on second down, less than a yard. Milivojevic down the middle, got it to his tight end. Got 14 on the last play out to the 48-yard line. This is Brandon Tullis. And Tullis dives forward for close to 7.
Running the ball, maybe quarterback draw, but obviously not able to play.
Play action. Deep ball coming. Man out there. Thought there was going to be a jump ball, but there isn't. Nick Marsh. Here comes the blitz.
Whoa.
And
right
the run blitz pays off.
You could tell with that call they were thinking 4-down territory.
Awaits for Penn State. Fair catch. Pena takes around the 9-yard line. And Clinton Jones and Gene Washington both with the Minnesota Vikings. Pretty good group.
Yes, for sure. In this league and the next league as well.
Dinkins, the tight end, comes in tight on the right side. They will keep it on the ground. Kaytron Allen just keeps driving. First down, Nittany Lions. Alex, and he's the tailback in the pistol behind Grunkemeyer. He gets it again, trying to go wide left. They're not going to let him. Yards gain department and keep moving up in the record books with 3 more weeks to play. Right down the seam, in and out of the hands of Luke Reynolds. Grunkemeyer, plenty of time to throw, and now hesitates, and he who hesitates gets sacked.
103rd for Penn State and 119th for Michigan State. Sometimes stats mean nothing.
That's right. And fair catch. I thought he called fair catch, and now he's going to try to advance it. Apparently he did not. From the 22-yard line. And spinning and almost.
Free rush.
Look out. And he got the pass away. It's incomplete. 3rd down and 7. Milivojevic gets rid of this one quicker, but it's high and incomplete.
Missed it.
And a guy, Ryan Eckley, who had 1 block today. Got rid of that one. Denied. Dennis Sutton was coming in again. This is a beauty, back to the 17-yard line. And they're going to get him at the 17-yard line. Nick Singleton, the tailback. Grunkemeyer off of play action, wanting to throw, has plenty of time, and now running out of it and running with it. And he dives for about 5. Kaytron Allen weaving his way, first down and more, and now the power comes in at the end, and he's still going. Kaytron Allen.
On that defense where Michigan State or anybody else has to game plan against.
They only have 3 interceptions, and we're here in game number 10. Here's the toss, Nick Singleton. And now Nick Singleton behind his blockers and behind his pads, and he goes for 15 more.
So this Michigan State defense held Indiana to 132 yards rushing, but Mendoza went 24 for 28 that day with 4 touchdowns. You can see that the Michigan State's weakness is stopping the run. So far in this game, though, as Terry Smith told Jenny, they have not been able to do it. He challenged their physical play at halftime.
Got some great blocking out in front. Dinkins, a tight end. Ioane, the left guard, and the rest, and Nick followed it for the first down at the 48-yard line. Singleton again. And those two kind of feed off each other, he and Kaytron. One gets a big gain, the other one wants to. The best of friends. And they say we're almost like the same person, only our personalities are a little bit different. 2nd down and 5. Kaytron Not going to get much on that one. Let's check in with Jenny.
Well, I actually spoke with Saquon Barkley about Kaytron Allen and Nick Singleton. He joked, he said, I know my Penn State records are in jeopardy. I hope they break every single one of them. He said at Penn State, typically winning is expected. That's the standard. And when you got two backs who can take over a game and push each other to be better, that's a recipe for success. And that is what they're looking to get back to in this game. Guys, Barkley loves watching this team as both a fan and an alum.
And he loves working out with Jenny and drinking those smoothies at the 2-minute timeout. There's their numbers today. 3rd down and 4. They will keep it on the ground. He's not going to get anywhere near it.
Ball stuffed inside. Great job for making it bounce out that time. Jalen Thompson, number 9, coming in from the defensive end spot, forcing the punt.
So Wosu set to punt. Omari Kelly wait back around the 10-yard line. End over end job, and getting out of the way is Kelly, and it's going to roll down inside the 5. I thought it was going to make the sideline, but it didn't. Standing in his own end zone in the shotgun. And it's Frazier, and he gets them that breathing room back and then some. All the way out, got about a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, let's salute that Michigan State offensive line on this one. Coming out this section of the thing, great job by Matt Gulbin, one of the best centers in this really good center league. There's probably 8 of them, and Matt doing a good job on that one.
Matt came over from Wake Forest as a captain on this team. And we got Nick Dawkins on the other side, another good center for Penn State in the Big Ten. 2nd down and a yard. Frazier, and he's got the 1st down.
The first half losing 10-0 and brought his team back.
Frazier running strong and fast. And another 1st down.
Yeah, nice job again this time. Left side of that offensive line again, right here, the left tackle. Rustin Young does a good job pushing his guy right back. You run that stretch play, you've got to have that offensive tackle. Coming in, his first start was against IU. Not one of the counted on players, a backup coming in this year as this Michigan State offensive line has suffered losses.
Now here's the quick pass out on the flat. Nobody out there to help block, so a short gain for Nick Marsh. Going back to Mekhi Frazier, he's their leading rusher, both carries, yardage, all of that didn't start today. Tau Tolliver did, and now they're rotating, and they got a little bit of something going.
I think so. I think it's worked out well for both of them. You know, Nick Marsh, you know, coming into this game, he was their leading receiver with 46 catches. He's got 2 for 5 yards.
Yep, including that last one, a 2-yard pickup. 2nd down and 8. Milivojevic fires down to the 40-yard line, and Michael Masunis again.
Nice job that time. They know Denai Dennis Sutton's going to come quick from that left side. He feels it, got to get rid of that football, deliver it right in the hole. Perfect throw. Told you many, many times, right, Ness? Put that ball in the face mask. They love it right there.
Got it right in front of it there, and Masunis has had a good game. This drive mixing it up pretty well in the 3-minute drive that's carried us down to a minute to go. Here's a play fake, and there is Denai Dennis Sutton all over the Michigan State quarterback. But the play clock winding down, and flag down.
This time number 13.
Illegal
McCray,
snap.
Wide open, he's got it, puts his hand up, and you say, I had it, I had it.
Still 2nd
and
down.
a good pass rush covers up a lot of mistakes.
Yep.
Due to time constraints, we'll move ahead in the action after this commercial break.
And he won't. They'll fair catch it inside the end zone.
That saved the completion. He has had a Denai Dennis Sutton game, basically.
And he's already going to make a lot of money, but he's made himself a little bit more today.
That's so true.
The next level. Milivojevic wanted to throw a backside screen and got it to Tau Tolliver. And good gain, got about 15 or 16 out of it. Milivojevic looks right, comes back across the middle. Why it is with an all-new episode, CBS Thursday at 8/7 Central Time. This one complete near the 49-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 36.
Zariah Fisher.
That 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the run.
Correct call. Not a blow to the head, but a little late. But man, I wish they had this rule when I was playing.
You wouldn't have so many bruises, broken things.
Man.
First down at the 35.
I might have had 2 more kids.
At the 35-yard line. Streak down the sideline, just overshot the intended receiver,
Another
Krishan McCray.
Another flag down on this play.
A little talking going on,
Personal
too.
foul. Roughing the passer. Throwing the quarterback to the ground. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced in the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Well, here's another look at that one. And denied Dennis Sutton. Kind of wrapped him up and then whipped him around. Dennis Sutton comes out. Michigan State, doesn't matter. They sack him again and the ball is out.
Yep. I think it was Zion Tracy that came off the edge.
Penn State's got it.
Jim Knowles said, we're going to keep coming after the quarterback. 2 roughing the passers, but right off the edge. Number 7 comes in, just avoids the block to the outside from Connor Moore. Yeah, clean. First the right hand hits him in the arm, and then the helmet hits him in the back of the elbow. And Milivojevic says, oi. Milivojevic goes, oi.
Yeah.
Back to back, 2 roughing the passers, and a big hit right there.
Now you think you're going to get a dose of Kaytron Allen and Nick Singleton with only 3 minutes left in the game. And again, Alessio coming off after taking really 3 hits in a row and checking that left shoulder. You assume it's going to be Kaytron Allen, and more Kaytron Allen right now, or Nick Singleton. It is Kaytron Allen behind his blockers, and here he goes. Kaytron Allen into the secondary. They drag him down, but he's got his biggest play of the day, and it's all the way down to the 25-yard line.
I'll tell you, there is so many Penn State fans that wonder, why couldn't we do this all year? Running these guys, the 1-2 punch that Penn State was counting on. And one of the things that, was said by Andy Koldenicki to us is we might have listened to the buzz too much, the crowd.
Yep.
We thought we had to throw more to win the championship. Maybe we should have just stuck to being what Penn State does best and run the ball just like this.
Kaytron, 42 yards that time. And now he's up to 155. And he continues to climb that Penn State rushing list all time. Adding more to it. He's going to walk in. Kaytron Allen, touchdown, Penn State. Woo! 26 more on that one.
Well, this was walled down this time by the pulling guard. Watch him pull across and get the block right here and pin it this time. Number 50, Cooper Cousins, pins it. Nowhere to go, and he walks in.
70 yards in just 3 plays in a little over a minute. And now if my math is right, that's 181 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns for number 13. And that's Terry Smith. And the rest of his teammates. And now we know that Michigan State is going to fall to 3-7.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Ness, watching that play live, I thought the play clock had gone down past 0. And they were fortunate to get the play off, Penn State.
Delay of game, kicking team. 5-yard penalty. We'll retry.
Watch the clock go down, go down. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. And Maybe Michigan State's defense was thinking it was going to be a delay game.
I think so. I think guys had their eye on it, and it's wondering the back judge. I mean, that's your job. I mean, basically to look for that. I don't know, think that is reviewable. Maybe we should ask Gene on that.
Extra point is good.
Since the field goal, when Michigan State went ahead 10-7, then the bomb right after it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The next 6 drives for Michigan State, 5 punts and a turnover on the last one.
Yeah.
Both sides of this Penn State team has answered the bell.
So from about the 8:40 mark of the second quarter on, let's take you back to that last play and what was the touchdown.
Sounded like they clapped twice.
He did. Gene, it looked like the play clock expired. That's not reviewable though, right?
It is not reviewable, Brad. Usually what we do is we know the back judge, who is responsible, as Gary said, is watching the play clock. When it hits 0, he then looks down if the ball isn't being snapped right away, giving the offense a little tick right after it reaches 0. They called delay of game there. They were late. Should have been a delay of game.
Yeah. I'll tell you, if he took that much time to look down, he's got a stiff neck or something. I don't know what to tell you.
Gene, I know you've talked about this with us, and you get that split second or a little bit more, but maybe not that much time.
Exactly, Brad. Not that much time.
Down to the 2-minute timeout. This guy has been as tough as he was in his first outing against Minnesota. Keeps getting back up, but it's been a rough day again for Alessio Milivojevic, especially that last drive. He got him some yardage by penalty, but that's about all you can say for it.
Exactly.
Gonna throw it out in the flat to Tao Tolliver, and he's got a first down.
So with this loss today, Michigan State will have their 4th consecutive losing season. This proud franchise, this is tough territory.
Yeah, it is. Milivojevic throws late, and nope, he's out of bounds. Omari Kelly, the intended receiver, and he's holding both shoulders now.
Now he's holding both shoulders, and he's limping. You get driven into the ground like that, landing on your right shoulder. Yeah, he's hurting. Look at that.
And he's staying in there, but if they had another option, he probably would be coming out.
Well, the other option would be true freshman Leo Hannon,
who has not taken a snap.
Well, you're kind of looking for a handoff right here if you're a quarterback. Yeah, sometimes you can't even feel your arm after that type of hit.
Well, he's going to try to throw. Sidearms it, completes it to Tao Tolliver. He's trying to head to the sideline. Knocked out over there by Darius Dixon.
Play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Michigan State, number 4, for throwing the ball at an opponent. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. Michigan State has elected to take a timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff.
Oh,
That's
boy.
their second charge of the half.
Yeah, he flipped it towards him.
I
That
guess.
is unsportsmanlike, though.
Second down and long, and a strike up in and out of the hands, incomplete.
Yeah, that was a good defense that time by Elliott Washington, number 9. Timed it up perfectly.
Evan Boyd was the intended receiver, had his hands on it, and popped out of there by the defender right there. Nice play. He almost held on to it, but
This is an 18-point game, and they're going to go for it for 4th and 20 or 18.
it's third, isn't it? Third down, or is it
Oh,
fourth?
is it? I saw 4th
they
over there.
They have fourth down over on the sideline.
The down marker
The
has
6
4th.
has fourth.
We have 3rd. You're right. On the field, they both say 4th.
Yep. And another sack. And another bruise for the quarterback.
I think it was 4th down.
Well, both teams are leaving the field as if it were.
Yeah. I just thought Come on, 18 points down, your quarterback's getting hit like that, you're going to tee him up another time. Jonathan Smith, you were a quarterback, come on.
And he took a pretty good lick again. 7 against Minnesota. How many sacks today?
Well, what's 7 again? What? 5 for Penn State today. So the Nittany Lions, to get to 6th and 6th, they've got Nebraska at home and then at Rutgers their last 2 games. Michigan State, a chance to win, they have to play at Iowa and then Maryland in Ford Field.
Drunkemeyer takes a couple steps forward, takes a knee. And so Penn State, after so many close losses and 6 straight losses, going to finally snap that. And the last time winless in conference play is 58, and there was a tie in there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 0-7 here in just a few seconds.
Yeah, Jonathan Smith will be under a little pressure right now. This is the first time since 1980 a first-year coach, a new coach, has lost his 2 back-to-back losing seasons as a first-year coach.
Well, there's an interim coach who's pretty darn happy. The guy that basically said, I bleed Penn State blue, and didn't want to get a head coaching job this way with James Franklin being fired, but he gets his first win, and he's going to get a ride from his
great.
players. That's awesome.
Fantastic. A win feels so good, doesn't it?
Yep. 28-10, our final. And a happy wet Terry Smith. He's looking for Jonathan. The Smiths with a handshake at midfield.